Here she is in all of her printed glory, draft one of my debut historical fiction novel. Hi everyone, welcome to starting draft 2 of my historical fiction novel. If you don't know me, my name is Amelia and I am someone who is working on their debut novel but also nurturing, garnering my creativity, and I'm here to work with you and, get your creativity and your voice out there. So if that sounds interesting, subscribe. It is July 25th, and I finished the draft one on July 4th. So it has been 20 days since I've opened this file, so to say, and reread anything. In doing research on how to self-edit a novel and get from draft 1 to draft 2, it is recommended that you wait a decent amount of time between the writing process and the reread and editing process, so you almost kind of forget the story. Unfortunately, my brain does not work like that, and although I have not read about this story, I have been thinking because the characters are chattering in my brain. But with that said, also through these 21 days, I have read other books, but also been doing research because it's a historical fiction novel and I am basically to the history portion. It is about Renaissance Italy, so I picked up this book, Daily Life in Renaissance Italy by Elizabeth and Thomas Cohen. It's basically like a textbook and it has been so great so far. I had originally found it online, but it was like $10 to just buy it. So I knew I would be making a ton of notes in the actual book. So I wanted to actually purchase this book. And then from my library, I got the Ottomans, Khans, Caesars, and Callus by Mark David Baer, because the pinnacle of the story is a conflict between Italians and Ottomans. And here's the thing, in my education, I don't know, we didn't really touch that much on the Ottomans, the Ottoman Empire, so it is definitely a blind spot in my education, so I needed to pick up a book to kind of gather what was happening. This is definitely more high level, talking about Suleiman the First, who was the Sultan at the time that my story is set, versus this is daily life. I do have some things that I've already noted that I want to look up as far as what was life like for basically a peasant in the Ottoman Empire, just so I kind of know where our male main character came from and also what his sensory experience was. There is an event at my library happening at noon, between noon and 4 today, where we can buy library books, and I want to go. This is only 79 pages, so I think that equates to me reading for an hour. I think it should take me about an hour to read, so currently it's 11, so I'll wrap up just in time. If not, I want to just do a full read through of what I have and make any major notes depending on how my weekend goes, because I kind of have a lot of errands this weekend. So later today I'm hoping to flush out all the character and setting profiles, just so when I do a closer read, I can make sure if I'm saying their eye color is blue, and if it's referenced a few times, the eye color is blue, whatever. And also, because I know the characters better now than when I started, what is their wound, how are they coping with that, what is their major goal and how is it manifesting again. So as I read through, am I following this thread all the way through? I think once I get the feel of what has to happen, I will organize it so I can put together a very loose publishing calendar. The only thing I know is I want to be in a good spot in September, because I am basically gone or I have a lot of stuff happening at September, as seems to be every September for the past few years. So I want to like not be in the middle of anything major, really. I'm kind of rambling at this point, and I need to get to reading. So I have the Volume Spa candle that I've been using. So this scent is married to this. And then I did have a cup of coffee. I did have a beautiful latte I made for myself. Left it on the side table in the living room. Went upstairs, showered, came back down. Dog drinking out of the coffee. I didn't have any devices on me, so I could not take a video or a photo, so you are just going to have to believe me. But yes, my dog was drinking out of my coffee cup. He'll be fine. He's a strong, strong boy. But yeah, so I dumped the coffee, so now I just have boring old but necessary water with a hair on the glass. All right. Enough chit chat. I'm so sorry. I'm literally 3 pages in. It was a good scream. I love them so much. I forgot how flirty I made them right from the jump. Right now, and I'm nearing the end, but there's a part where the female main character like gets sick, and I wrote, I ran to the bathroom. Girl, there wasn't a bathroom. I am going to cross that out and put like chamber pot or whatever the hell they call it in the 1550s. Just like that, I am done reading it. I'm definitely a little like misty-eyed at the ending, like a good misty-eyed. Obviously, I have like notes and can make it better. I really love the story. I love these 2 characters. I've only written a few things down, like major things that immediately popped. And then there's a lot of development that needs to happen. I really wrote a lot of like major scenes, and now would be working on the smaller scenes and those really tiny details. I think any other thoughts I have, I'm going to write down. I'm going to let it sit for a few hours, go to the book sale, and then probably look at my character profiles tonight, see what I have written, and to solidify those, at least for our 2 main characters. It is the next day. I'm actually in the middle of making granitas al limone for a TikTok and Instagram video. But I just wanted to give an update while I'm waiting for something to cool. So it's like 2:30 on Sunday. I am getting a way later start than I intended today. And that is because at the end of yesterday, I got a really bad migraine. And I woke up in like the middle of the night so dizzy. I still kind of have a migraine, but it's definitely more tolerable. kind of just ran the gambit of everything that could help a migraine. Ibuprofen, the like ice cap, caffeine, carbs, protein. I flushed out like my sinuses. I'm a migraine girly, and it sucks because I find what happens a lot is I'll get stressed in other parts of my life and be looking forward to this creative outlet, but my migraines are also brought on by stress. So when I have this downtime, my body's like, oh good, let's give her a migraine to force the rest when I like wanted to be working. It's something that annoys me. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No. Other people obviously have like way bigger issues than me and my migraines. Okay. My granitas is officially in the freezer. Cooking, freezing. And I have to set like a timer for every 15 minutes to like stir it up. So I'm just gonna do that now. And then get going. Up here. Can get off the pooter. It is much later in the day. It's 5:23 and I was able to finish the main palazzo. We've decided it is palazzo, not a villa. The setting and the details. I even drew a little map for myself of like what it looks like because there are secret tunnels that I'm creating in it. So like I needed that. I do want to come up with like a publishing calendar, not because I'm really on a deadline or anything. The only deadline I have, or like two technically, is I would love for this to be like wrapped up, set, starting in the new year. Sometime in January, I would love to be able to be like, this is published, buy it. The second one, and I'm really toying with this idea, there's a fellowship for women through Blue Stoop happening, and the submission for it is August 31st, but I need to have a 50,000 word manuscript completed, and like I said, this is only 20,000 right now. Can I write 30,000 words in a month while also writing their other requirements? So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there. With the end date of, I'm just gonna say like January 15th, like a good halfway point in January, working backwards to create a publishing calendar and like a drafting calendar. I'm thinking I can get my draft 2 pass through 1 done by August 9th. So it's about 2 weeks from now. Then I want to do like a more chapter by chapter read, compile notes for that by August 15th, do the timeline for all of that by August 16th, and that would include plot and character arcs. Draft 2 complete September 19th. So from the time I'm working on the character arc and plot notes, I am giving myself about a month to complete draft 2, knowing I'm also going away for a few days. Was like sitting here writing and I was like, I could technically bring this whole rig onto the plane because it'll be like a 5-hour plane ride and I can get a lot of work done. So I'm thinking I'll like at least bring some chapters with me to work on. After draft 2 is complete, I want to do an alpha read. Right now I'm thinking like 2 people for the alpha read. Let me know like not recommended, but like how many people are your alpha readers? Do you even have alpha readers? Like whatever. Give that over. Myself take a break for about a week. From that, compile notes, timeline for draft 3 by October 3rd. I'll fill in then like any other things because I'm thinking I'll probably do like pass 1 and pass 2 like I'm doing for draft 2. Draft 3 complete by November 7th, again like a full month. Then a beta read and a break for a week. Compile the notes timeline November 28th. Draft 4 starts November 30th. I gave myself 3 weeks here because hopefully they hopefully shouldn't be like full rewrite or anything. I don't know. But I said 3 weeks. So November 19th, TBD, kind of if I need a 5th, 6th, whatever. But published by January 19th is like the hope. As you'll see, I put ideal due date, new due date in case I either finish early, which is like secretly in my mind to get some of this stuff done earlier, or I run later because who the hell knows what's going to happen. So I know for some people probably from like August to next January seems like a really long time, but unless I come into $5 million and can quit working full time and can hire a staff to do everything around my house and have 0 social obligations, I think this is what we're working with. I think this is realistic while pushing myself a little bit, and I'm kind of happy I at least have some sort of plan, even if it needs to be flexible for the millionth time in case something else comes up. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on my draft 1 read through, setting up my publishing calendar. We have a date. We have a date. This is so exciting.